think we're good, my friend. Thank you. Good morning, and the happiest holidays, however you do or don't celebrate. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast. I'm Joshua Moore, a member of the fellowship and your service leader this morning. The UU Fellowship of the Emerald Coast is a religious community united by a shared set of values and principles and committed to service, spiritual growth, and caring fellowship. If you're visiting today, you'll find more information about us on the back of your order of service or on our website and Facebook page. Please fill out a visitor card at the blue table by the front door so that we can connect with you and send you information about upcoming events. We are a community of friendly and fallible humans who welcome you here now. All of us were visitors and strangers once. We found friends and opportunities for spiritual growth and justice work here. We treasure the warmth and empowerment created here and welcome newcomers to be a part of it. We also want to honor and acknowledge that we gather on the unceded lands of the Muskogee Creek, who stewarded this place long before we ever came. This morning is an intergenerational service. This means that the children, whoever they are, will be remaining with us throughout the service. This means that the service today will be a bit different. I want to invite you all into our little religious exploration circle. Today, we're all going to be young and young at heart. And we're all here to explore, remember? Okay. So please refer to your order of service for upcoming services and announcements. And please join us for refreshments after the service and explore our second hour activities, which are also noted in your order of service. Was there any other announcements that anyone needed? Yes.
Good morning, I'm Cecile. Our Crestview Community Chorus is having a program this afternoon at 3 o'clock. There are tickets and programs on the back table. We also have performances next week, Friday and Saturday nights at Warriors Hall in Crestview. And if you need more information, please see me. Thank you.
And now our prelude prepares us for the service. I'd like to invite my daughter, Lorelei, up here to help us with the fire part of the chalice lighting. As we light this chalice this morning, may it warm your heart, readying you for the cold winter ahead. And may you always remember that no matter how cold it gets out there, this light, the light of reason and truth, this light brings us together to warm each other. May it ever be so. Our opening words are from Kendall L.R. Gibbons and is a little thing called Christmas is Subversive. One of the great things about Christmas is that it is a sturdy holiday. Christmas doesn't wimp out when times are hard. It comes anyway. Even if there are hardly any presents, even when there isn't much food to make a feast with, even if you're sad, even if the world around you is at war, even if you are living in fear and danger and oppression, Christmas still comes. And when it comes, Christmas is subversive. Christmas, with its story of an unwed mother and a doubtful father, with its legend of a helpless baby born in a stable who is worshipped by some of the wisest, richest men of the world, with its tale of the child pursued by the deadly wrath of kings who escaped as a refugee to a foreign land far from home. Christmas, with its ancient, enduring summons of peace on earth, goodwill to all people everywhere. You can't stop a day like that with a little hardship or greed or injustice. It'll just show up anyway, shining the light of a midnight star into the darkest places of our collective lives. Do not underestimate the power of the manger and the hope it holds. The Christmas song of the angels is not as innocent as it sounds. It has turned the world upside down before now. It still can. Now, I would ask you to rise in body or in spirit, however you are able, for our opening hymn, number 224, in your gray hymnal, Let Christmas Come. The words will appear on the screen. Invite Ivy Light for our Time for All Ages. Okay. Is there an extra one?
One has to turn it on to get it to work. Imagine that. All right, so it is the month of December. It's the craziest, busiest time of the year for a lot of us. And a message that we see everywhere during this time of the year is the reason for the season. But that means something different to a lot of us. It's not always about the little boy in the manger. For some of us, it's about other things. So, I wanted to ask first, if I can get this out. When we think of reason for the season, what is our individual reason? What reasons for the seasons do you have?
To be with family and to have fun with friends.
To be with family and have fun with friends. Do you have anything? Does anybody else have a reason for the season they want to share? Did you raise your hand, Daniel?
The glorious music that goes with the season.
Yes, the music. Love the music. Anybody else want to share? So, we have family, we have music, we have togetherness. But here at the UU, it's not just about one thing. We're not a collective of people that have just one reason for this season. We all have different reasons for this season. Would you like to pull something out? So Lorelei has a card. It's a thank you card. So for some of us, the reason of the season is kindness. It's reaching out to the people that we love, that we care about, and sharing our heart with them, sharing our feelings, sharing our hope and our joy with them. That's one thing. Would you like to pick? Next, we have an ornament. This represents tradition. And we all come from different traditions, many of us similar traditions, but even within those similar traditions, we have those differences. For some of us, it's Christmas. For some of us, it's Yule. For some of us, it's something else entirely. This is our pretend mirror. Some of us, the reason of the season is to look inward and to see how much we've grown, to see what our values are, to find what that reason is for ourselves. Sometimes that reason is to look inwards. Alex, would you like to pick? And yet for some of us, the reason is nature. Winter, everything is going to sleep, everything is dying off, everything is ending, the ending of cycles, without which new cannot begin, without which new nature cannot grow. All of these things are reasons for the season. We have one more. We have a light. For some of us, the reason for the season, as was mentioned before, is finding that light. That light which, when gathered with other lights, becomes something beautiful. So, as we go about town, as we go about social media, at school and in our workplaces, and we are confronted with many people with many different reasons for this season, some that may align with our own and some that may not, we can remember that when we put all of these reasons together, we create something beautiful. We create a community where all of these answers, all of these reasons are acceptable. All of these reasons are safe within this bag that we create as a community, something that supports everyone and their beliefs, everyone and their reasons. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivy. It actually set us right up for where we're going later, so perfect. And since it's an intergenerational service, we won't sing our lovely song. The kids will be here, but you can sit where y'all want. And today, as usual, y'all get to be part of the next thing, which is sharing our joys and concerns, which is a revered tradition in our fellowship. We share personal joys, milestones, or concerns during our worship service. This is a sacred time. It is for individuals who are experiencing truly significant events in their personal lives. We invite you to come forward, place a pebble in the bowl, and share silently or in just a few words. Through this brief ritual, we deepen our connection to one another. And as always, we ask that you only share personal stories that you have permission to share. Thank you. Our world seems like entirely overwhelming sometimes, doesn't it? That's why I find it nice to have a moment of peace and reflection. I would invite you now to quiet your mind for a moment. We're going to sit and we're going to breathe together. We're going to do something that they call resonant breathing or resonant breaths. And we're going to do 2 silent breaths. 2 breaths on the exhale will be a hum, and then 2 on the exhale will be an om, really big. And then we'll go back to a hum, and then 2 silent. So we will breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and hum. And in. Yeah, and now we're going to om in. And in. Back to humming in. And in. And silence in and out. One more deep breath in and out. You can shake it off a little bit, come back to planet Earth. Friends, generosity is a spiritual practice, and our fellowship is supported entirely by pledges and donations. If you are paying your pledge today, please mark your check in the memo line that you are paying your pledge. If this is the first time here, feel free to pass the plate along. We're just glad to see you here. After the song of dedication, we will share cash and undesignated checks with our December Split the Plate partner, which is still the UU FEC Fund for Emerging Needs. Please be generous as you are able. Hello again, friends. And friends that I have not met yet. This morning, I get to do one of my favorite things. Each year, I look forward to the holiday season, and I look forward to the opportunity to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. What Christmas really means to us Unitarian Universalists. Each year, I try and find some new way to talk about it, a new angle, a new way to see it. But this year, we're going to do something a bit differently. Because lately, if any of y'all have been here for some of my other talks, I have been asking y'all questions, inviting you along to explore with me, instead of just yapping up here for 15, 20 minutes. Okay, so trust me though, I do have something to say about Christmas and how I have been learning to think about it in a new way. But first, I want to hear from you. So here's my first question for you. And Lorelai, could I get your help again, friend? Thank you. My first question is, what does Christmas mean to you? And this doesn't have to be bright and shiny, though it can. Whatever it means to you is what it means. And if you just raise your hand, our wonderful assistant will bring you the microphone. Thank you. Make sure it's clicked on, and then and see what happens. Yeah, it's good, I think.
Hello?
Yeah.
There we go. It means the stockings are full of candy on Christmas Day.
Oh, I love candy. It doesn't love me, but.
For me, it's an excuse to remember to think about other people and what you can do for them.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I might not even have to give this.
I can't remember exactly where this was, but one of the Walmart customer service centers was decorated in the Grinch. So I think we need to be reminded they got a tough job working the holidays.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Christmas to me means family and friends, and just getting to spend time with them.
Thank you.
Christmas to me is time, whether it be the last or the first time with someone.
I love that. Kind of mark the passing of time, too, and how we have known someone. I love that.
For a lot of us, it means traveling to see family and sharing a table with all the people you love and maybe some strangers that you just meet.
Christmas reminds me that we are the elders now, and Christmas is more about friendship than it is about family, because most of my family is gone.
Mm. Wow, and chosen family maybe even.
Christmas is also about thinking about throughout the year, the whole year you've had, and thinking about what you can do to make others feel the happiness that went through the year.
Well, like I said, I might not even have to read the rest of this. Lorelai, back there, please, as well. Thank you.
I'm going to piggyback on what you said. Just trying to create magic, that sense of magic, and feeling that spirit.
Yes, I love the Christmas magic.
For a while, for me, it actually symbolized all the ways my birth family had failed me and how they let me down and how much they didn't love me. But this year, it symbolizes how much my chosen family chose to love me and chose to bring me into their lives. And
Thank you so much for sharing that. I have a similar relationship to Christmas for a very long time. It wasn't a happy memory, though it has changed over time.
Christmas for me is about shared connection and togetherness, and I very much echo the chosen family aspect. That is very, very true.
I guess one way to summarize what several other people said about family and chosen connections, so forth, community. And Christmas is community, and our community, good friendship, love, family, all sort of roll it together in the community. Thank you.
And I know if more people want to talk, I do have more things to say. And we have more questions, so thank you for all of your answers for now. Thank you, Lorelei. So I can see that it means a lot of different things, but a lot of the same stuff too. I feel like we're dancing around some of the same things for sure. Some of us still have deep connections to the holiday. And maybe some of us might not see Christmas as nice, as Santa Claus might say. And that's okay too. One of the core aspects of our faith community, Unitarian Universalism, has always been a willingness and determination to decide for ourselves what we think. And to some of us, I'm sure, Christmas is and will remain a touchy thing, something that, as we heard, reminds us of family fights, maybe consumerism, something I think about a lot, or a church that didn't accept me for who I was. I'm not here to change your mind about any of that. No, I'm not up here to try and defend Christmas as if it needs it. As we heard, Christmas comes anyway. Instead, I'd like to tell you a bit about where we come from, how we got here, and why. All right? Awesome. Good. But first, I want to ask you another question. And this might not have so many raised hands. Next question. What is a Unitarian? It's not a trick question. It's also okay and totally fine if even longtime UUs have no idea what this word means. We're pretty far from it. Yeah, someone back there.
A heretical branch of Christianity that rejected Trinitarianism.
Oh, I love that. That's a good definition. Weaving in the actual word itself, Unitarian as opposed to Trinitarian. Yes.
That's basically what I was going to say.
Okay.
Unitarian is one God as opposed to God in three parts.
I'd say that's a part of where it began. Yes. They said the three didn't make much sense.
I mean, you only put that one word up there.
Right, because we can only talk about so much. Anyone else? It's okay, I understand. It's an old word that we don't really even talk about much anymore. What do you think?
A group of people that come together to talk about things that are religious.
Oh, I love that. See, like definitely getting into more of where we have gotten here. So what do you think?
An umbrella, take in many different faiths and belief systems just in our own group, and I guess all the Unitarian churches. I mean, we have quite a mixture of different beliefs, lifestyles, and I think that's what makes us rich.
An umbrella.
We have pagans, especially on a day like today. We have Christians, Jewish, pagans, agnostics, atheists, Buddhitarians, quite a mixture of many beliefs.
And on, I'm sure.
On and on.
Yeah. Here, Lorelei, I think that's good. Thank you. So without me going on and on, Unitarians were the children and the grandchildren of the Puritans, some of the most conservative Christian churches of their time. Old-fashioned is not even a word that describes them well. They are the oldest of old-fashioned. But the Unitarians, they were also the children of the Enlightenment. They were well educated, And as the 1700s rolled into the 1800s, young and very progressive liberal ministers, heretical for sure in New England, congregational churches, they began to teach a very different version of the Christian message. They stopped preaching about miraculous healing or virgin births or plagues of locusts or fires of brimstone or even about the crucifixion. Instead, they taught about love for your neighbor. They taught that we could become better versions of ourselves if we tried to live together in a beloved community. If we pursued a life of goodness, goodness to ourselves and to others, then through this good life, as they called it, through living like Jesus, this was how they saw salvation. Not a salvation from a hell which they doubted existed, but salvation from the hells that we create for each other on earth. Radical ministers like William Ellery Channing and Theodore Parker taught their Unitarian flocks that what is good and what is loving, what they would have called at the time godly, that these things, they're not hidden or esoteric. We don't even need any holy books to tell us how to feel or what to think about our world. And certainly, we don't need Scripture to tell us what we can see with our eyes and learn day by day. How best to live with each other. That's who Unitarians were and still are. A people who refuse to check their rational brains at the door, who question everything, and decide for themselves. That's why today I have another question for you. How can we embrace reason for this season? Our rational minds. Anybody got any good ideas? Think for a second too. It's a kind of a big one. Is it on, Lorelai, or did it get turned off? It's dying, I think, but yeah. Just turn it up and then try to talk into it. Yeah.
Being willing to listen to people, even if we disagree with them.
Oh, thank you for saying that. That is a hard one. I love that, though. Ooh, Gesundheit.
Understanding that there are a lot of people right now that are hurting financially, so expecting expensive gifts is not reasonable.
Yes, absolutely.
Accepting all the different like practices of Christmas and such.
I like that.
We often talk a lot about reason, but reason doesn't happen until you respect feelings.
Mm-hmm. I think they go hand in hand, I'd say.
Maybe looking over your own Christmas budget and taking aside a portion of that to help someone that may not have a budget for Christmas.
I love that. I love all of these answers. Anybody else? We good? It's okay. All right, come back. Thank you. So I couldn't resist the pun. I apologize. But of the Unitarian legacy of rational thought, of the belief in goodness of each other and the inherent right to each person to decide for themselves what to believe, we get to answer this question every year, every day. And I think from what I was hearing from y'all, we're getting into some really deep stuff. And I think it's time that I fulfilled my promise from earlier to give you something to think about this season. Did you know that Unitarians were one of the first denominations to really embrace the Christmas tradition as we know it today in its like modern conception? I didn't. I learned that recently. But they did. They didn't take Mary or Joseph or the manger out of it, but they did start to emphasize a different side of the story. And I think it's important to mention that Unitarians, they were some of the first parents in America to break away from the old Protestant belief that you had to physically beat the devil out of children. I mean that. Unlike their Puritan parents that certainly beat them, the Unitarians were the gentle parents of their day. And they didn't have a lot or much precedent at all or example to look toward to how to raise their kids. This was all new to them. But they knew with their rational minds, along with their big hearts, they knew from what was obvious to anyone not clouded by religious brainwashing that children are born good. And that it is our job to help them grow into more goodness, into healthy, happy, connected members of our community. This was how they viewed both the message of Jesus and salvation itself, that it happened day by day in the big and definitely the small things. And that it was our job as adults, not just as parents, for sure, takes a whole community. It is our responsibility to help children blossom into beautiful souls, something that we could all aspire to. And this is what they saw in Christmas. They saw it as an opportunity to share these values of generosity, of goodwill toward their fellow humans. These values could be made more visible through the rituals that we practice during the holidays. This is why we give gifts, not because we need more stuff. I mean, we have enough stuff, I think. No, it's to remind each other that we are connected, that we care, that we're thinking of each other. A reminder to be kind to each other for no good reason, just the season. And the baby Jesus, they saw it as a reminder that new life, that new hope is always possible. And that in every newborn child, there is a promise of growth and change and radical transformation. And this is a message that comes at a very specific time of the year. The seasons change, the winters come, as it always does and always will. And what do? We gather together for warmth, for love, and for really good food. And so I'd like to show you a comic up here now. Yes. So it says, and I'll read it to you if you can't see it. So it says winter, and you have butterflies. We take a long journey south. And we have a bear here. It says, I fall into a deep and impenetrable sleep. How do you survive? Asks the squirrel. Someone asks the squirrel. The squirrel is very chunky. That's how. So I love this comic by Sarah Anderson of Sarah's Scribbles. Look her up. She has really great stuff. It shows how these animals prepare and deal with the winter. The birds, the flying things, fly to a warmer climate, as some of us in this congregation do. The bears get cozy and hibernate, as some of us here do too, I'm sure. Not a pure hibernation, but the winter is certainly prime nap time. And the squirrels, what do? They get chonky by eating as much as possible. This is very relatable. And I would also add that these animals, us human beings, how do we deal with the winter? We invent things like Christmas to remind us of what really matters in the dark, cold months. We put sparkling lights all around to remind us that beauty is still possible. Even as the green of spring and summer fades, we bring that green, the evergreen, into our homes. You see what I mean? We gather together and remind each other that it's going to be okay. No matter how cold it gets, we have each other. And one last thing. I think that the lesson Christmas has for us UUs in 2025, it's more than just a seasonal message. Even now, it feels like we're entering some pretty dark and cold times as a nation, maybe even as a planet. And We are going to need each other now more than ever. You feel that? That is what Christmas can be about. It already is to many of y'all, as I'm hearing. And remember, we get to decide what it means. That is the legacy of our Unitarian ancestors. That's their gift to us, the gift of reason. And reason tells us that we can only get through the hard times by coming together, holding each other close, and simply reminding those next to us that they matter, that we need each other. So maybe take a moment in the next few days to ask yourself again, what does Christmas mean to me? Friends, you get to decide that. Amen. May it ever be so. Now please rise in body or in spirit as you are able for our closing hymn, People Look East, number 226 in the gray hymnal. We may now extinguish this chalice here, but you can take its warmth with you. In the darkest of days, let its light remind you of us and the hope that we share, that through love and kindness and the truth of reason, we can make this world a better place. Because I know that we can. Please remain seated for the postlude.